Okay,
I
so
forgot.
it's been a while since we've done this. Yeah, it's been a while we've done this. This is Couch Critics in lockdown. It's easier to do this because it's just a video call. There's not a lot of production costs and everything. So that is why we are doing this at this time.
I think we should just do it like this.
Sorry.
From now on.
Yeah, I feel like moving forward, we should just
sitting on our couches. I think this makes the most sense for the show.
I think we are two out of two for couches. Well, 1 out of 2 for couches.
Well, you know, you're sitting.
I'm in mid-air.
For someone who's in the jet.
For what reason?
I mean, if you went for what movie I was hyped for this year.
It's all unnecessary.
What movie? What movie has jets in it this year?
Top Gear.
Top Gun.
Gun.
Oh, okay. That's true.
All right, so what's up?
All right. So I'm going to ask you guys, what was the last movie you saw, be it in the cinema or be it any way that you did? Some of us be paying for movies. Some of us just find a way to watch these movies. So what's the last movie you guys saw within the ended of 2019 and then 2020, before everything has gone batshit crazy right now?
Last movie I properly watched was Parasite.
Okay. Michael?
That was the last Star Wars movie for me. Rise Skywalker.
Wow.
Very difficult conversation. Obi?
What?
The last movie or the last series of movies. Like, to be fair, I haven't seen
so tell us the ones you've seen.
I did see Men in Black 4. I actually rented it on Apple movies. And then the next week it was available on Netflix. So I saw that, and then I saw the movie I paid for was Harley Quinn, whatever.
Yeah, we saw that together.
Yeah. So that's it. I haven't seen anything this year. I've not seen anything else. I haven't seen Bad Boys. I haven't seen anything else.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay, so I have
been on lockdown for longer than.
I've been in lockdown for 3 weeks. I think all of us have been in lockdown for about 3 weeks, to be honest.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah.
At least 2 weeks.
All right.
At least.
Yeah, I'm right up there. 3 weeks. Winston and I started our lockdown around the same time. God help us.
Yeah. All right. So for me, the movies I've seen, I started watching the Star Wars Rise of Skywalker. 10 minutes, 15 minutes in, I couldn't stand it. I stopped. I have seen Harley Quinn. I have seen Bad Boys 3. Both of these movies I saw in the cinema. I have seen Bloodshot. I started Parasite. I have not finished Parasite. And a whole bunch of other movies, I guess. Yeah. So
it's funny, I have Parasite on my desktop. I mean, I bought Parasite. So I haven't had the time to watch it. Even though the guy won a car, I've had the time. He won an Oscar. I haven't had the time to watch.
Sorry, my lockdown partner needed me for a second.
Hey.
Oh, okay. I feel like you should make it clear who your lockdown partner is, but yeah, you let's just roll over that.
My brother.
Yeah, people don't know that. So just to make it clear.
I mean, if I said my lockdown partner, when people assume it was my microwave. So I guess clarity is important.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah. All right, so Sawasi, you're the only one who's seen Parasite, which won an Oscar and seemed to
None of you have seen Parasite.
뭐야, 소독해? 창문 닫아.
나도 봐. 공짜로 집안에 소독도 하고.
부모님 얼굴도 뵙고 좋더라. 건강들 하시고.
일거리가 없으셔도.
네가 내 대신 얘 과외 선생님 좀 해줘라. 영어.
대학생인 척하라는 거야?
구라를 좀 치지 뭐.
None of you have seen Parasite.
I've started, but I haven't finished.
I
Oh,
haven't watched it yet. The only parasites I acknowledge so far is Parasite the Maxim.
Isn't
Which
that
is
an
an
anime?
anime. Yeah, the live
Yes.
action was weird.
None of you have seen Parasite.
I'm not
I
someone
haven't
acknowledging the
finished.
live action.
How have you
Look,
not finished? It wasn't
tried to
interesting
start-
enough.
No, when he
No, I
wanted
just had
to
something else.
start, but it was there was stuff. There was stuff to do.
So for me, Sunshine was watching it, and I came to join her to watch it, and I had something else to do. So she finished it, and I never got the chance to finish it.
I see. Okay, well, interesting. So what do you want to know about Parasite?
You tell us what you want everybody to know about Parasite.
Watch it. Watch it. There's a lot going on, a lot of social commentary, class systems, and people and where they fall. It's really interesting. It's really interesting. Watch it. Yeah.
Okay. So me being a K-drama connoisseur, like I've been watching Korean content and imbibing Korean content for years now, I can understand the whole. When I started watching, I saw the whole caste systems, and it feels like that's really how Korea is. I don't know. It feels that kind of way, like because most of their shows has this whole caste system thing.
Isn't that the
going on.
same guy who gave us Train to Busan?
Is he?
I don't know. I haven't watched
No.
Busan.
Not Train. Was that Train to Busan or Snowpiercer?
I have no idea, but Train to Busan is fire. The part 2 is coming out soon. Train to Busan presents the Peninsula. That's the title. I don't know what's with the weird titles these days, but
I thought it's a Train to Persec.
Wow.
Yeah, but there are a lot of light novel titles going around.
Yeah, it seems to be like a naming.
Yeah, it's very. Yeah. So, Michael, tell us about Star Wars.
It's an instinct. A feeling. The Force brought us together. We're not alone. Good people will fight if we lead them.
People keep telling me they know me. No one does.
But I do.
It's as cookie cutter as it gets. I can see why you tuned out after 15 minutes. If you're not paying full attention, it's fine. It gives you everything you got from the previous Star Wars movies. Although this time round, we didn't have the jaw-dropping moments we got from the light speed thing in that movie. In the previous movie, was it Rise of the Jedi or something? We didn't get that in this movie. In this one, we didn't get that here. And that's the thing. The movie was. Now, I don't know if we can talk about them, but immediately after I watched the movie, I went and watched the Screen Rant's pitch meeting version of the movie, and it covered lots of things in that I don't know. The movie sets up a lot of things, but doesn't pay it off. It just throws it entirely away. Leave aside the whole Star Wars, how Star Wars works thing. You let it go because it's not meant to be taken so deeply. It's just a bit of it's the summer blockbuster before the Marvel movies came in and changed what that meant.
So I saw
It's
first
old school
15 minutes.
And what was those
It
first
wasn't
15
great.
minutes do to you? Yes.
For me, it was like they were forcing setups. Like the whole Palpatine thing, I was like, what? Like, I'm sorry, this is a spoiler, so spoiler alert for anybody. But the Palpatine
In all
thing
honesty,
is set up in the first 5 minutes of the movie. First 5 minutes, not hidden somewhere in the future. First 5 minutes of the movie.
But they were doing it.
They've been doing
that all through the trailers leading up to it.
No, but I didn't think I'll get to see Palpatine in the first scenes, like the first part of the movie. And hey, Palpatine, oh, I've been hiding. I've created an army. Okay, let's go take over. It was no, it was like they were force feeding us information.
Oh, a
They were
lot of
trying to
the
force
most of the thing was force fed, and it
truth.
didn't even pay off. Like the whole Palpatine thing, because for 2 movies they've been building up this whole confrontation between Rey and Ren, that like who's going to the dark side, who's going to the light side, where's everyone going to be, and all that. And then at the end of the movie, they just throw the whole thing away. They're like, nah, screw it. Because the whole movie they've been building up to this whole, we must have a balance. Like there's a little bit of dark side, a little bit of light side. Now at this point, I'm like, nah, fuck it, dark side army. Like a literal whole dark side army comes from nowhere, doesn't do anything, they're just chanting in the background. And when they start blowing everything up, then these guys just start getting stomped like Lord of the Rings. Like, yeah.
Wait. A dark side
army, like
So
a
Sith army.
I mean,
a Sith army.
A whole literal Sith army. Actually, yeah, not even dark side, a literal Sith army.
What happened to the rule of 2?
Well, forget that. There's a whole literal Sith army chanting in the background, and they're even doing this. Yeah. And
what race are they?
We never saw because their heads were all hooded.
They're helmeted.
Ah, okay, interesting. I wonder how that, because wow, where did they come from?
Oh, there's a lot of where did they come from in there. So
In the whole movie, yeah.
there's already an army of dark side, sort of Sith acolytes. Yeah, you think where did they come from? Adding to that, they also have a whole literal navy. You saw how in the second movie they wiped out Starkiller Base, and they're like, okay, there's nothing left of the First Order, it is done.
Yeah.
Now, in the second movie, Palpatine has made a second First Order navy, and I didn't think about it, but someone mentioned like, where did he get them from? Because
wait. So Palpatine didn't die.
No,
or is he like a Force ghost? How is Palpatine still around?
He's actually there. Well, we don't know.
They don't tell you that.
They don't tell you.
You don't see him physically.
He's there.
No, you see him in the first 5 minutes.
He's physically there. This is not a Force ghost Palpatine. In the first 5 minutes, I'll give them credit. In those first 5 minutes, when they're leading up to exposing Palpatine, you're not sure if he's a ghost or a figment of the imagination. And then later, like, no, he's actually literally physically there. Like,
okay, so like since Anakin, wait, who killed Palpatine?
Yeah, Darth Vader.
Darth Vader, exactly. So since Vader killed Palpatine, he's been secretly building this new army. Killed.
Oh, no, bear in mind though, when he was killed, he was electrocuted, thrown down.
Yeah, thrown down the shaft.
Yeah, thrown down the shaft, and this is not down the tower, down to the center of what's basically a moon, while the moon was blowing up.
Yeah.
And he still survived all that with basically a few scratches.
Yeah.
He's basically Gollum on a diet now. And he survived that. And so all of that happened. The moon crashed into the planet upon everything. But you still managed to survive that and go into a regional space that the movie goes to a lot of pain to show that, it was very difficult. It's very difficult to get here. You cannot just go there. The movie takes up a lot of time establishing that where he is hard to get to. And he made his way there. And he had time, because the movie hangs on this plot point a lot. He had time to create special markers that show the way Luke did in the first movie. That like, there's only a special marker you need to find where Luke is. Yeah, Palpatine has that, but he has 2. But then one is destroyed, one is used. Okay, so there's one left. It's destroyed. But there's a third one for some reason. But there's supposed to be 2. Or is there 2 pairs? Like whatever. There's a third one. It's convenient now. We move.
I think I need to watch the movie.
Yeah, just don't.
You know,
don't keep your brain at full capacity while doing it. Just have it in the background. Don't get a headache.
Gotcha.
No, but it's not Atlantis. Like look, I think everybody's trying to secure their next movie, right? So I don't find it outlandish anymore because
for this
as soon
one,
as
they
these
didn't.
guys
There's no.
brought back
Oh, fair
no.
enough,
But
though.
as soon as Fast and Furious brought back Han after we've seen him die twice, like Charlie, anything goes. Because how do you establish this?
I mean, this is Fast and Furious. That's been trying to lie to us for years that these things are normal and realistic. In broad terms, realistic. No one looks at Star Wars and thinks, "Oh yeah, this is perfectly realistic. This can happen." Nobody does that.
But this is exactly why. This
But
can
even
happen.
no, that's the thing.
Because,
Even with the BS,
I've never seen one, but I know that if a moon crashes into a planet, it's kind of a disaster.
No, but you see, when you're talking about
it's kind of a disaster.
when you're talking about stories, right? The stories have set their rules in their world, right? So fine, those rules might not work in our world, but once they set their rules, they have to follow their rules. And with Han dying, we all saw him. He was in the car.
Twice. Well, he died the first time, and we're like, "Oh, he's dead."
And then
Tokyo
he died in
Drift
Tokyo Drift. When did he die again?
He died in 6.
He dropped from the jet.
They gave us a different.
Oh
no, he
in
didn't.
6,
No,
they
that
gave
was
us a different angle.
yeah.
Yes, they gave us because in the first time he dies because it's an accident, and we're like, "Oh, it's an accident." And then later on, the 6th, and it's like, "Oh, the accident wasn't an accident; it was predetermined." Okay, and now, and he's dead for sure because that
He's
movie
dead
was
for
set
sure
up.
because that was a jet.
That was.
And he was trying to save his girlfriend, and there were tears shed.
Hold on.
That's how I know. That's how I know he's dead for sure. Like the guys cried. You understand? You're like we cried. Like the guys also cried in the movie. They were like, "Oh."
Then it means Gal Gadot is definitely alive as well. I can hope for that. That they have to actors still in it.
I mean, the only person I'm hoping who's still alive in the Fast and Furious franchise is Idris Elba.
Yo.
Tony Stark is alive.
So I've got a pitch
why like that?
for Fast 10. I've got a pitch for it.
Okay.
Fast 10. So I'll tell you guys about it.
We're not going anywhere.
Oh, you guys want to hear it right now?
Yeah.
Fast 10. Check it. Dom's dad didn't die in that car crash.
That works.
Now Dom and his brother have to join forces to take down their dad.
It's not outlandish, especially when we take the whole
hold on.
This whole thing is going to be stolen from you so quickly. So
have to take
Dom's
down
brother, who they've introduced. I've only seen him in the trailer, John Cena.
Yeah.
Yes.
Right.
Well, no. Did you actually see him?
Join. No one else got the joke.
Yeah, everybody got a joke. We got it. Go. We're listening.
Oh, sorry.
I'll kick you guys off the Zoom meeting right now.
So Dom's brother, Dom and his brother, but you know what happens in Fast and Furious? By the end of the movie, the person that was their enemy becomes their friend.
Yep.
Yeah. Nakama powers.
Exactly.
Oh, stop
Nakama
that.
powers. So they join forces to take down Dom's dad. Dom's dad wants his grandkid.
Oh.
And he wants his grandkid because Idris Elba, right? You know, Idris Elba was like a super soldier. Dom's dad was the first one.
No. Wait. That's not so far-fetched. Because at the end of Hobbs vs. Shaw, the guy says, "Don't remember me. We've met before."
Yeah. Yeah.
I haven't watched Hobbs vs. Shaw though.
Yep. So at the end of Hobbs vs. Shaw, when Idris is killed, the guy, the orchestrator, the architect, says, "You don't remember me, do you? Don't worry, you will meet soon enough."
So they know each other.
He says that
Hobbs
to Dom.
knows the guy.
See?
So he says that to Hobbs.
He says that to Hobbs. Okay.
Dom is not in the thing, Krasif. That's true.
Dom is in it.
Yeah.
So my theory is that
Dom's father. You see, maybe I don't know.
So my theory is that the reason that Dom has been able to use cars as like pillows and all of that is that he's been part Idris Elba, part super soldier the whole time, and now his dad who's the original one, wants his kid, because his kid is probably like maybe third generation super soldier.
Double
that's
up,
training
yeah,
his kid or
yeah.
You know the small
whole
Captain
plot.
America, the Bucky.
No, hold on,
Yes.
hold on. I'm going to augment the plot. Then
Bring it, because I've been thinking
becomes
about this.
family, right? So now
Yeah.
Hobbs shows up with his whole clan,
Hobbs is
right?
not
He and his brother have made up, so they come through.
Wait,
Then-
don't forget the very fact that there's serious beef going on between Vin Diesel and The Rock, and they're not going to show up in the same movie again unless there's going to be a lot
Don't worry,
of...
this is about money. Because this sets the pace for 14 more sequels. Bro, look. Everybody's getting paid. So Hobbs shows up with his brother, who he's now made up with, right?
Mhm.
Jason Statham shows up with his sister because
And
now
brother.
And brother.
Yes, because now she's she's Hobbs's girlfriend and it's about family. So she gets Hobbs to crash his beef with Dom. Oh snap! And then it turns out that
generations
show up with their big mama, who's Martin Lawrence in drag.
Look what the wind and blow my.
Hi, Big Mama.
Yes, such an idiot. You are such an
No.
idiot.
But
Okay.
listen. Luda and Tyrese show up with their cousin, and their cousin is Will Smith. No. Okay, even better. Kevin Hart shows up with his cousin, and his cousin is Will Smith. Yo, I'm saying this is lit.
I just had a terrifying thought
No,
about all
you know-
this.
Can you imagine?
You know what would be funnier?
Banquet at the end of that movie, like it would
You know what would be funnier,
generations.
What?
Kevin Hart's cousin is Eddie Griffith, who is actually undercover brother.
It ain't no thing.
Oh,
Okay. The theory. Let's rein it in.
Can we just stop? Already, I'm worried about the fact that at some point in time, there's going to be a Fast and Furious Generations, where it's now going to be
Yeah.
everybody.
I think
Yeah.
that's the title of the Netflix animation.
Oh
Yeah.
yeah, I forgot that existed.
I haven't watched that yet.
I watched only one episode. I haven't finished it.
yeah,
a bit
it's
weird.
not great. It's not great.
So,
I actually forgot that I've seen it.
so since it's generations, that means you can make a Fast and Furious next generation like the way you did Naruto and Boruto.
Exactly.
I
Yes.
just
Okay.
If we
So
play our
back
cards
to
right,
Star
we'll all
Wars.
be starring in Stars of the Future. So in Fast and Furious. If we play our cards right, we might be starring in the next generation.
True.
if you're
So-
doing that, we have to have Kobe with us and his son. That's the only way to make sense. we can't participate in it without having the literal best driver in Ghana and his son
Oh,
not in
my
it.
People are making references to things that people watching
I
don't
have
know.
no idea.
Don't know
Yeah.
about.
So,
Look, that
Okay,
is
so
the
back to Star
joy
Wars.
of editing. And at this moment, that's when an image comes up with Kobe's face in his Formula One car. And then just do a list of facts. Like the fact that Formula 2 driver, the best driver in the country, bar none, because he's actually raced at that level. And a cute picture of his son, even behind the racing simulator as well. You know, this is what editing is for. We live in the
Okay,
21st
back
century.
to
We need to
Michael,
get this thing done.
Michael,
Okay.
with the way your hands are moving, like does your jets have like autopilot? Like you aren't controlling anything, you're just there
Yeah.
and the thing is just flying.
Yeah, look, the ocean is a big place, yeah. And I'm just circling around the carrier right now. I mean, I can't turn the camera, like it's over there somewhere. I'm just saying, right, that's how I'm still online. Yeah, I'm getting Wi-Fi from the bridge.
We
So it's
see.
cool. And like I just have it
Okay.
on autopilot. My wingmen too are bored. They're also doing Skype calls to their girlfriends. You know, neighbor quarantine.
Speaking of girlfriend,
All right. So back to Star Wars, guys.
Yes,
So,
Okay. No, you
my
see,
per-
if
my-
you're going to do that, if you're going to do this segue, then I have to connect the two. Speaking of girlfriends and back to Star Wars, big spoiler, Rey and Kylo kiss.
who's
I know, but I sort of knew that was going to happen.
Yeah, but then he immediately dies because they spend the whole movie setting up the romance between Rey and Finn. It never goes
Kylo Ren
anywhere.
dies?
Yeah.
Yeah, Kylo Ren dies.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
Let me rephrase.
Well,
He's not
Let's
killed.
die.
He dies. Yeah,
Enough.
no, he died.
Did you
Well,
see him die?
oh yeah.
We didn't see Palpatine die. Now look.
Oh, look, they stabbed Kylo Ren.
That's a valid point.
And that's not what killed him. They stabbed him. Rey stabs him. Immediately it's like, oh shit, I actually didn't mean to do that. Despite full on literally meaning to stab him. Yeah, she stabs him. And then suddenly there's now a new force power, force healing. So she heals his stab wound. But that doesn't kill him, fine. It rather gives an epiphany. Switches over to the light side. Then the fight with Palpatine, he doesn't die. But Rey dies for some reason. Okay. And then using the same force healing, he injects his life force into Rey.
Oh, for fuck's sake.
And then dies himself. So now
that means that he's alive inside her.
Okay.
Well, if they're going to do the sequel, yes, he's probably going to be alive inside her. And if Finn ends up getting inside her as well, it's going to get very awkward with the three of them. That's another thing.
I think
okay, so
for the first drag Sith Star Wars movie. I'm just saying.
Drag.
Okay. So my definition of the Star Wars movie will be, back when we were kids, when they're trying to get you to take chloroquine, they put honey or some sugar or something like that.
Yeah, that bad.
Nah, I didn't know. I didn't have that experience. Just wrap my shit in diary like a dog. But it's okay. Continue.
So after you've taken, so it's basically a thing that parents do when they're trying to get their kids to take in bitter medication. They put it around something sweet, you swallow it, but we still throw up. That is how I feel Star Wars is. It's bad. It's bad. The writing is bad and everything, but they put certain interesting things in there to pique your interest, and then you finish and it doesn't pay off. Michael, am I right?
Absolutely, except that you don't end up throwing up. It's not so bad that you throw up. It's just literally tasteless. It goes in your mouth and passes out. It's less. No, water is good. Water is good for you. Water is refreshing and great. It's like literal paste. It's absolutely tasteless. It looks good. It has a lot of action set pieces, and then there's always the funny dialogue at some moments, and then there's look. They killed Chewie for all of how long? They killed Chewbacca for literally all of 30 seconds.
Bruh.
They kill him for all of 30 seconds. Like, boom, he's dead. And it's like, and then literally 30 seconds later, like, oh, he's not dead. Okay, got 10 minutes left. Oh, he's not dead. We will, what do you call it? It turns out the ship we blew up that he was on, it was a different ship. Even though we literally saw him go onto the ship, take off in everybody's eyes, get blown up, and like, oh, that's not him. He was on a different ship somewhere else for some reason.
So confusing.
Well, building up things and then letting us down again. That's the new Star Wars way.
Well, let's just move on quickly. Obi, do you have anything to say about Birds of Prey and the fantabulous emancipation of one Harley Quinn?
Can I help you?
Why, yes, you can. I'm here to report a terrible crime.
And what terrible crime is that?
This one. Ah, shit. I told this all wrong. Quick history lesson. This all started when the Joker and I broke up. It was completely mutual. And soon enough, I was back on my...
You could just call it Birds of Prey, yeah?
It's as bad
That's
as
the title.
So we don't need to hear the whole thing.
I thought that movie was good. No, wait. Let me rephrase. I thought the movie had certain good points, right? The art direction was great. I love Margot Robbie, so she was fantastic. What else?
Fight scenes were good.
I think the fight scenes were good, yes. And she did her own fight scenes. So Margot Robbie did her own fight scenes, which I thought was awesome. That's it, right? I I just thought it was, after watching the movie, it became really obvious why the Joker broke up with Harley Quinn. She just goes on and on and on and on and on and on and on. And it becomes like a 2-hour ramble of just like girls nagging. It just sounds like nagging and cackling and more nagging and more cackling. Like at some point you're wondering, why am I sitting here watching this? Like it does this where it's another female empowerment movie. Surprise, surprise. So all the men are bad. There's no good man. I can't remember one person who was good in the movie. All the men were essentially cast as either weak, like Victor Zaz, who I love, came across as some freak, some weirdo, right? She manages to.
I mean, he is a weirdo,
but he's not that kind of weirdo. He's not like a
weirdo. Yes, exactly.
He's not a creep. Do you understand? He's not a creep. You know, he's a psychopath, who we like. He's not a creep. He looks like some sexual offender waiting in the shadows. Like it just made him come across as some weird dude. And then of course all the men are either bad or extremely weak. So she goes into the police station and she's beating these guys up with like balls and powder puffs and just weird. I'm like, come on, man! Like it's an entire police station. She's literally walking through the police station, beating these men, doing nothing. So that's.
Does there have to be a good man in the movie?
No, but I don't think there needs to be a good man in the movie to make it non-feminist. I just think that you should balance it out, right? In the same way that with men, you see, men don't make movies and make their girls their damsel in distress anymore. You see, we've all grown up. We've all passed certain stages, right? But I feel like for women to continue to make this empowering point, they have to sort of like blackwash all the men in the movies to make it seem like they are continuously oppressed and they are rising above all the oppression and stuff. It's like Charlie's Angels. All the girls were superhumans. They could literally do anything. They were scientists, they could fight, they were street savvy, they did everything. And none of the men was proper. And the only one man who you think is the guy who's going to be the saving grace of men because of just who the character himself is, because of who the actor himself is, ends up being the number one villain. Yeah, just like, but so there's no hope in this movie.
But there were two cool guys that I liked.
Where?
There were two guys that I liked. The scientist dude and then the Asian asshole dude.
You see,
the
you
guy
just
in the first scene.
You just described the guy as an asshole. That's what I'm saying.
So, but if you think about it, right?
Mm-hmm.
Aren't there lots and lots of movies that you said we don't do casting the female as the damsel in distress anymore, but there are lots and lots of movies that have done that. Don't women have the right to have a few movies
in the last 2 years, right?
Okay.
I think the industry has realized that, okay, look, we are no longer making women the weaker sex. We understand, right?
Mm-hmm.
We've had female empowering movies like what's those movie?
Mary Poppins.
No.
I feel like The Witcher had some. Okay, yeah.
Wonder Woman.
The Avengers, Black Panther, all of those movies have shown, and you've gone beyond that. The Man from U.N.C.L.E. Do you understand?
All of these movies have male leads, right?
Well, I wouldn't say so. I think everybody's the leader. I feel
like I haven't watched these movies, right?
What?
No, continue.
I haven't watched these movies, right? And I'll agree that they are probably being heavy-handed with their agenda, right? The gender agenda. But I mean, I think we should allow them a few movies, suss it out. Let them have the movies where it's completely female empowerment, is overbearing, is like, let them have, because maybe their section of cinema is maturing. These are always female directors, right? These are all female directors.
These are all female directors, yes. But that's also the problem when you begin to blame the flop of your movie on male show. You see what I mean? Because if you're going to make a film, take your crowd and go. But don't insult the guys who bought the popcorn.
That was I think what's it called had that issue, I think.
Charlie's Angel.
Yes.
Yeah.
And it didn't help that the director came out and said, "Oh, by the way, you know, this is a show of men not supporting women in the industry." You made a flop. You made a flop. That's what you made. Same with Ghostbusters. Like, I love Leslie Jones, but Ghostbusters was trash.
Oh boy.
It was trash from beginning to end. The whole thing was trash.
Just a notice that we have 2 minutes on this call left, then it will eventually end, and we'll have to do a new one and then do some stitching later in the editing.
Okay, so then let me say what I think about Birds of Prey quickly. I gave it a 5 out of 10. Like Obi said, color is great, shots were fantastic, action scenes were great, although they had to get the director of John Wick, either the director or the fight choreography director, to come and help them with fight choreography. So I wonder what it looked like before he came to do that. And the colors were great.
Don't wonder. We already have the good version. Don't wonder. Don't think about it.
Let me just continue. Margot Robbie was fantastic. And I've said this to you guys before, where I felt like Margot Robbie was the best and the worst thing that happened to the movie. And the best thing about her is what made the worst thing. She was fantastic as Harley Quinn. She really embodied the character perfectly. But in that perfection came the imperfection, which is the fact that Harley Quinn is annoying. Nobody wants to listen to her for hours. But we were stuck listening to her for close to 2 hours. It gets tiring. It gets very annoying. And for me, it's not her fault. She did it. She did a great work. And yeah, the title of the movie was very, very misleading. And we saw that later in cinemas. They changed the name to Harley Quinn and the Birds of Prey. But they should have just called it Harley Quinn, or the Emancipation of One Fantabulous Harley Quinn. They should have just stuck to that. But all in all, the movie, when it comes to writing a plot, and there are certain, I agree with you, Selassie, about the whole give them time to suss it out. But some of these characters already exist in media and have a certain ideology around them. The same way people were upset when they found out that Zack Snyder had thought of getting Batman raped in jail as one of his scenes for Batman. Superman.
What?
Yeah, it's a whole crazy thing. Like, it doesn't make any sense.
YouTube content warning, by the way, you should bleep that word.
Oh, there's a lot of things to bleep out, including the fact that we have less than a minute left. I'm estimating 30 seconds before this thing ends.
Yeah. So with all of that, like, these characters already exist and they already have a certain psyche and a certain temperament. And you throw all of that away to boost an agenda. For me, no. Right. So that's about it for Harley Quinn. Since I'm the only one who's seen Bad Boys 3, I'm just going to talk about it real quick. Bad Boys 3 is fantastic. It's actually my favorite.
One last time. One last time.
We ain't going nowhere, 'cause it's Bad Boys for life.
Oh, shit. Oh.
Will you relax? He didn't say any spoilers.
Why?
I don't know. I think he's expecting you to give.
I'm not going to give you guys spoilers.
No, spoilers come for everything. I found out Kylo Ren died. Come on.
Yeah, but
I'm not going to give spoilers.
It's a shit movie. Nobody cares about that.
So what movie?
But like,
it's a rubbish movie. Nobody cares about that.
Okay. So Bad Boys 3, fantastic. The best Bad Boys movie ever. 1 and 2 was just Michael Bay being Michael Bay. This one actually has a story and some bayness, even though Michael Bay isn't part of it. Because I don't want to give spoilers, I'm just going to say that it deserves everything that it has right now. So it's actually the best grossing movie of the year because of everything that is going on. It's the biggest movie of the year, and it's great. It shows that sometimes when a comeback is done well, it can really shoot everything, because this seems to be Will Smith's best hit since Independence Day.
Wow.
You see, that's when it comes to the
But
monetary.
that makes me feel better about Will Smith, because when I heard that Aladdin was his biggest grossing movie, I was a bit, I was like, this dude,
I think about it
everything
this
is
way,
done for him,
right?
man.
Unfortunately, we live in a time when these live action remakes of Disney movies are getting a lot of traction. I don't think they deserve them, but that's just what happens. Now he happened
No,
to
but
be in there.
that's why people need to like beat their kids, because the kids of today are the ones who are making these things. Like they're ruining. Like I still haven't been able to watch Lion King because every time, first of all, Jeremy Irons is not in it, and every
That
time
soundtrack,
Beyonce,
that beautiful soundtrack isn't there either.
Wait.
I mean,
Bro, like
No,
for real.
and please, Obi, please, whatever you say, be very careful about what you say about Beyonce next, because I don't think the comment section can handle the beehive descending.
Fine.
what they be,
It's not nice.
where is it in the isolation
So
hives? Look, and this is the
Look.
problem, right? Like we have to
Well,
teach
look at
kids
animated.
the original Disney stuff. You know what I mean?
Okay,
This is like
Selassie.
when Incredibles came out.
Selassie, please save us.
Yo, Obi, you think
Yeah.
it's the kids? You think the demographic, the people that are watching these Disney movies are kids?
It's not us. And so
It is.
so it's
It's a
not us.
nostalgia ticket. It's parents
but
that are
it's-
taking their kids to these movies.
You can't no, but you can't go and see, for example, you can't go and see this what's the movie called, Lion King, and be proud. This Lion King is terrible. I mean, if I'm going for the technology, I get it. But everything else was terrible.
But you still pay for the tickets. That's the point.
It has lost the soul. No, because if I'm taking my kids, I wouldn't let my kids go. I normally take my nieces to go and watch all these things. So when Aladdin came out, I took my nieces. When this one was coming out, we didn't go anywhere. They were like, oh, yeah. And I was like, no, because you have to have a certain kind of quality in your system.
Oh, but for real.
Look, even in
Aladdin, I've seen it.
In Aladdin, the movie is great until Beast transforms. And when Beast transforms, he's like some Owen Wilson ripoff. And you're like, I would rather be with Gaston. Like, honestly, anybody would rather be with Gaston. So these are things you have to bring through the movie. Like, Prince Charming needs to actually be Prince Charming. I don't care how you adjust it for reality, but make him Prince Charming. Don't make him some ordinary guy that anybody can find at Legon. I mean, okay, not Legon, but anywhere else.
Wow.
Okay. But yes, back to Bad Boys. Bad Boys is great. You guys should really see it. It was fun, and I don't know if it will be easy for you guys to predict a certain plot point, but it was fairly simple for me to. But it didn't take away anything. The movie is great. Like, it's really good. It's a fun time. No alcohol required.
That the first two have always revolved around kidnapping. So even though I haven't seen this movie yet, I'm willing to bet that somebody was kidnapped, probably a daughter or a niece.
But you don't want spoilers, and you are saying these things.
No, I don't want spoilers because I intend to download.
Yes.
Buy the movie from Apple.
Who has a cat in their house?
I don't.
Probably Michael.
It's not. It's an
What
animal outside my place.
What animal would I have in my house?
So
Dogs.
you're the one with the cat. It makes sense.
It's not a cat.
What animal
I think
is
it's
that?
actually a goat outside on the street.
No. Goats don't make that noise.
Trust me, they do. More like
now
a
that
kid.
now that he says, I like, yeah, it could actually be a goat.
Yeah.
Next
Okay,
topic.
So coronavirus, we are stuck here, and because of the coronavirus, some movies. So this is actually something I predicted in the beginning of the year, where I said that a couple of movies will have to have their release dates changed. And the first one to do this was No Time to Die. Really wasn't any time to die. It would have been out by now if things had been the same, but it's been shifted to, I think, November. And now we hear Black Widow, Mulan, and a few other Disney movies have.
Look,
I'm still waiting for.
my two wingmen over here are not, what do you call it, taking part. Oh, sorry, canopy. Can't, what do you call it, raise my hands up that high.
But so, what do you guys think about these changes? Like the ones you've heard, or which movies? I mean, I haven't heard that. I think Fast and Furious 9 has also been shifted. It only makes sense. So, what
It's
do you guys think about all these shifts?
I
So
remember it's indicative of how the movie industry works. Because now would be the time where you're thinking, okay, if we can't go to the cinemas, just release them to the streaming service where everybody can get access to them. But the movie industry, for want of a better, I'll call it a cartel or a cabal. Like they have their lines set and they will make their money no matter what. If the world is going to hell and they have to delay the movies to come outside, the cinema houses get the first pick, they will do it, as we've already seen. So the only thing that will shift things and maybe we'll get streaming releases of all this stuff will be if this thing lasts till November, December. If it actually does
and it
last till
probably
then,
will.
yeah, at this rate, it
It
probably
probably
will.
will. Yeah.
It probably will.
If it does, then yeah, they probably will shift the dates again to match.
So the way I see this whole thing, right? I'm not sure how the economy of everything works, but I understand that the movie houses don't own cinemas.
Mm.
Yeah.
I
Yes.
don't know how the money is split and how it's cut, but I feel like a digital release might end up making them more money than releasing in cinemas. I'm not too sure about this.
I don't think so.
I'm not
So,
too
so
sure how.
I actually did the research, right?
Uh-huh.
So essentially, movie houses are just essentially confectionery stands with
Yeah,
movies,
they rent it.
right?
Yeah.
So typically, the 4-week period, depending on how good the movie is, the 4-week period is split is like 80% to the distributor and 10% to the cinema, right? And then if the movie is kept on the cinema reel for like another 8 weeks, then the cinema can sort of negotiate, okay, can we do like a 40, 40-60 arrangement, or like a maybe 50-50 if the guys are very warm and welcoming, right? Otherwise, they have to take like a blockbuster and a really bad movie and say we are going to run so bad movie, let's say picking randomly, I don't know, Ghostbusters, and then run Ghostbusters while they are running like Bad Boys 3, right? So that you have the benefit of having audiences see. But essentially confectionery houses. So this is why Disney released what's it called? The Lion King digitally. The same time as they released it in cinemas.
Okay.
This was before they went live with Disney Plus.
Okay.
Now they've pulled all their content off Netflix. So it's really sad because you can't even watch Avengers on Netflix anymore, right? Which means that the only reason I'm gunning for the digital releases is at this point in time, I think they will still make the money because people are hungry enough to want to do Netflix parties.
Yeah.
So it's not like we are waiting for some unique cinema experience. Yes, we might not get 3D, but it's not like, unless they shot a majority of the movie for 3D audiences, and so they are missing out on the IMAX revenue. But I doubt that's enough to keep them holding the titles under their belts until. So I suspect that a lot of them are taking the time to say, we're going to do some more work, some more editing work on the movies and stuff like that, right? Also, the risk is you miss out on the global release because of the segmentation now with the streaming services. Like if Disney goes live with a Disney flick today, we won't get to see it.
Yeah.
So that's the problem, right?
Yeah.
We won't get to see it. So that's the only thing that sort of worries me about a digital release. Because honestly, left to me, I'd sit down here and watch all the premieres.
Okay. So this is what I think. And so here's the thing. When it comes to a movie of a certain budget and reputation, I honestly feel like the makers of the movie will hold onto it, like Michael said, till they can do the release that they want to do. This is because streaming is not really, I don't think streaming is going to make as much money as you think, because first off, let's say, okay, Disney has its own streaming platform. Now, if I pay for a Disney Plus account, that means I have, depending on the package, maybe 2 people, 2 devices can watch it, 3 devices can watch it, and I pay what less about the same amount of money I would pay for tickets for that,
Yeah.
and that's for a whole month. So, if anything, when I finish, my friends who also want to watch it, I can just give them my account, and they
Yeah.
And
can
then
watch
they
it.
can
So they
watch,
will
right?
lose out.
Because
Yeah,
Yeah.
they will lose out on
So
the physical numbers.
so you might lose out on physical numbers, but you know what happens when someone pays for a subscription for a month? They're likely to stay for a second month, and a third month,
this
and
is
a
true.
fourth month, and a fifth month. And before you know it, they've paid for a year. And what happens when they share with their friends? Their friends use their accounts, and then more people, the net gets wider and wider. More people are watching. So that isn't actually a bad thing, because eventually those people will pick up accounts of their own. It's like that with Netflix.
But
Netflix started,
but
everybody was sharing accounts, but now a lot of people have picked up their own accounts. They've got accounts, and now people's parents are watching Netflix shows as well.
Yep.
It's spread.
Yep.
So
that is
it's not a
true.
horrible thing.
It it's true, but you need to understand that that business module is time based, as opposed to the way the cinema industry is. That within a period of a month, if you are going to make your billion, you are assured of that billion within a month. But this is a
No,
long-winded plan
but this is a
that
unique
has so
scenario as
many
well.
holes and so many things to jump across.
This is a unique scenario where you
Not to
have the
mention
entire
piracy.
population of the world at home. Do you see? It's never happened before. It's not like people
Yeah.
are going to decide whether they want to go and see a movie or not. Look, at this point in time, people are watching anything. They're watching anything on YouTube. Look at all the views going up on everything.
Yo, it's amazing.
People are
There are
just looking
all
for
these
content
videos
to
that are
consume.
just shooting up to 7 million views,
Yeah,
10 million views, 11
yeah,
million. It's crazy.
yeah. And in Europe,
But the
YouTube is
point
having
is,
to cap at 480p. Netflix having to
yeah,
cap. That's how bad it is. Even in Ghana, we are beginning to see the effects where the
Yeah.
telcos can keep up. Right? So
Yeah,
you have a
the internet
captive
has gotten
audience.
horrible.
That's a globally captive audience. So this is the time
for
to say,
normal
I'm going to
True.
release one movie. And we're not saying release your entire movie base. We're saying release one movie and see what happens. And then
Yeah.
pick
So
something that's terrible. I don't know, Harley Quinn.
yes. So
And then try that.
no, wait, hold on. So Disney is actually releasing Artemis Fowl. I am terribly disappointed in Artemis Fowl. It's one of my favorite books that I read when I was younger. And so Disney is actually releasing Artemis Fowl on Disney Plus very soon. So it's a terrible movie. The stakes for that movie, because of the public backlash that movie had, they can release that movie. And there's
Why
no
is it a
problem.
terrible movie? I was actually looking forward to that.
He says it's a terrible
If
movie
you
because
read,
of the casting.
yeah, if you read the books, you
Oh,
will hate.
well,
No, to be honest, this I am digressing, but to be honest, I can give Percy Jackson a lot more slack for the way it turned out than Artemis Fowl. Because with
wow.
Percy Jackson, in the books, everything starts when he's 11. He's 11 years old and he's fighting gods and stuff like that. It's very difficult to replicate such a thing. Very, very difficult. But with Percy Jackson, with Artemis Fowl, he is not fighting. He's not doing much. The story is weird. Um, Artemis Fowl had a very positive women empowerment character, the main fairy character, and right now
Yeah,
they've blown it.
holy.
They've Yeah, Holly. They've blown it by making the commander of the fairy or the leprechaun thingy unit being a woman. That has blown everything, has thrown everything out the window.
The gender
Ideba,
agenda.
Agenda.
It has thrown all of that out of the window. And so that movie, it has a lot of public backlash. So them releasing it. But I was talking to some other people and I actually did some research. It turns out that IGN went to talk to some producers and they said what Michael said. They are going to hold on to this movie as long as they can. So if there's any movie, in my personal opinion, I feel like you guys remember John Wick 1 and the budget for John Wick 1. Any movie playing in that range and in the indie movie range, yeah, you can put it on a streaming service and nothing, there's no problem. But if Avengers Endgame with a close to $500 million budget, you want to put on a streaming service, nah, No investor is going to be happy.
And they the
No,
same.
I look. I don't think so. You know,
Yeah, I
don't
disagree.
because look, going out to look. Okay, think about us. Think about us and how when we plan we want to go watch a movie. Look at the amount of effort it takes. The number of reschedules we make. Like
Man, I
if
don't
I
even
can
want to
say,
think about it.
if right now we can sit here and say let's watch, even if it's Artemis Fowl, let's watch it together right now on Disney Plus. We'll watch. Like it's work.
Who has a
We're
Disney
no
Plus
longer in
account? Though?
college. You guys, you know we're no longer in college. Right? We don't have the time to be doing this kind every time. We dey go more. We dey won't go chop popcorn.
Yeah.
We don't have time.
In college, did we have
Do you
this time?
understand? Even in
I
college,
was
we
in
didn't have this
Kumasi.
time.
Yeah.
But so I don't think like, and I think cinema audiences too are disconnected. Like the last Fast and Furious we went to, I remember blushing because parents walked in with their kids, and the very first scene was a sex scene. It wasn't like a PG sex scene. It was like a proper let's go, Johnny Sins. Do you understand what I'm saying? So this is the thing, right? And I feel like the way that the streaming services have been structured, they didn't come to play. People like Amazon are spending 13 billion on content. It's not a joke. Right?
True.
So what you need to do now is aggregate your tribe. So for example, I was sitting here like 2 days ago, I wanted to watch Avengers Endgame just because. And I go to Netflix, it's not available. I go to Disney Plus, it's not available in my region. I'm really pissed off. Right? But I don't feel like this is the time. It's not like the economy is in a slump. That's not what we're dealing with.
Third world country problems.
We're dealing with a time when everybody is at home. Bro, Times Square is empty. That's what I'm telling you.
Except for that one.
So when you are showing your trailer safe, nobody is watching. So then just say I'm doing. If Disney took a moderate movie, not Artemis Fowl, but let's pick a moderate movie. Let's say they are going to relaunch. Let's say they are going to release a director's cut of Avengers Endgame. It's 5 hours long. They're releasing it on Disney Plus. There are no regional interventions. Everybody should sit down and watch. Use that as an experiment to see what will happen. Disney Plus is the quickest growing online streaming service in the world. That's why Apple had to give away Apple Plus for free. If you have a device, you get it. If you don't have a device, it's $4. They're trying to get people on board as much as possible. You buy a new phone, you buy a new iPad, buy a new Mac, you automatically get it.
True. But I feel like to satisfy this argument, we would have to find out how much money these movies are making on these streaming platforms. So the next time.
So Winston, apart from there's more to it, right? Apart from how much money they're making.
Yeah.
Apart from that, as an investor, if I'm sitting down and I hear what Obi just said, Disney Plus is the fastest growing. I'm sitting down and I'm like, okay, everybody's at home. I need to invest. Look at the American senators and what they did. Investing in work from home business. Okay. So right now, okay, I'm an investor, I'm at home, right? Everybody is trying to jump into this like at home services, streaming, blah, 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 blah. And you hear that Disney is releasing their biggest, what's the biggest movie Disney has coming up right now?
It would be Black Widow or Mulan.
Black Widow.
One of the two.
Okay, so say Mulan is being released online, right? Aside from how much money it will make, aside from all the people that are going to register for Disney Plus just to watch Mulan, investors are going to see that, look at this, their numbers have shot up. And investors are going to buy. They're going to buy stock. They're going to pump money in. So you look at how much money the movie is going to make, but then the other side of it, stock market investments, it's going to make a lot of money there too.
True. Now this is true for Disney, but keep in mind that many of these movie studios don't have their own streaming services. It's only Disney
that's true.
and Warner Brothers that has their streaming services. So would they have to pay Netflix and Amazon?
No. Netflix and Amazon are going to do their costing. They are going to bear the brunt of the cost. So you charge Netflix and Amazon. Because what's my benefit as Netflix? My benefit as Netflix is if I get James Bond and nobody else has James Bond, guess who's coming to Netflix to watch James Bond?
Yeah.
How are the profits going to be shared?
What do you mean?
Netflix already had...
That is usually for the lawyers to decide when they start breaking the whole movie down into percentage chunks.
But is it going?
Netflix already had that
The point-
relationship with Disney. They already had that relationship with different studio houses. It's not
Yeah.
impossible.
It's not impossible.
It's not impossible,
at
but
all.
I feel like the only way that would work, even for investors, is a pay-per-view kind of thing where you have a Netflix subscription. But if you want to watch the 007, you just pay maybe $5 and you get to watch it. It's like you're buying it, like on Amazon Prime. There's certain
If that's the
videos that
case, they
are
would have put their
restricted to your
stuff.
region,
They would
but
have
if you
put
really
their
want to watch
stuff on Apple Movies. They would have put their
Yeah.
stuff on iTunes Movies. If that's the case,
But if they haven't done it yet, then that possibly means that they've evaluated the cost benefits.
I'm
and
telling
it
you,
doesn't
look,
work
they
for
haven't
them.
evaluated the cost benefits. I'm telling you, they haven't evaluated. Look, people are just pulling it because that's the natural reaction. I promise you, they haven't sat down and weighed the numbers because they think the streaming services are fragmented, right? What happens is now, Netflix, Disney, whoever else, they become your distributors because that's essentially what happens. Production houses don't do distribution.
Yes.
So the business models for those four companies evolve into distribution services. Quibbly launched. You guys know, is it Quibbly or Quibi? It launched 2 days ago or yesterday. It's a mobile network, right?
Okay.
That launched. It's already giving away free content. Do you understand? So now the business model changes a bit more. It evolves. The four guys are your distribution channels. Their subscribers are their direct targets. So right now it is up to you and how much you promote James Bond on your platform. Get the highest number of views. Maybe next time you can bargain for a lower rate with the production house.
Yeah.
Well,
it's a game of numbers.
Since we are talking about streaming services, what are you guys watching on your streaming service? Which streaming services are you guys using? What are you guys watching?
I'm only using the ones that are available in Africa.
Same.
Same.
YouTube.
Exactly.
So the Netflix, the Amazon Prime videos.
Yeah. What am I watching? Well, I enjoyed Altered Carbon. I watched Altered Carbon season 1 and season 2. I watched it in like, I don't know, 4 or 5 days. Yeah, something like that. Charlie. It was really quick. It got me, hooked me. And then they released the anime, and I saw that as well. And now I'm just waiting for more Tekashi Kovacs. You know what I'm saying? But
I'm not
from us.
I'm not a fan of season 2 Tekashi Kovacs, but that's not important. Continue.
Oh no, I know you have personal issues, but you know, it's the power of season 1 that's affecting your judgment for season 2. It's fine. It's fine. We didn't get the person we wanted. I was very excited, but Anthony Mackie is my guy, and he's a like Captain America, so you know, don't want to be struck down by lightning. But look, it wasn't great.
The characters all carry their weights in the season 2 and 1. Anthony Mackie, like I'm watching it, like I'm convinced that this is Tekashi Kovac.
Right.
Same with I could see it. And even when he had to face off himself, like I'll give that the actors and actresses brought their A game. Took Tekashi Kovac is in the same place at different points in their life. Like I look at them like, yeah, it's working. It worked. So I mean, no complaints from that. Borrowed my sister's account to watch it. Very well worth it.
Wow. You know, can we pause for the fact that Michael actually watched a TV show? Michael doesn't watch TV shows.
Yeah, he just watches YouTube.
Look, we live in strange and difficult times. I stockpile my YouTube playlist now, right? Before I play them, because I've had too many problems where I'm midway through playing, I find stuff and I add it. Something goes wrong, I lose the entire set. I don't know where I am. So I prepared them ahead of time, right? The last one I did was 40 videos deep, ranging from 1 minute 30-second anime trailers for upcoming seasons to a whole 1 hour specials, like all sorts of stuff in there. So my YouTube list is long. I have to now restrain myself from watching YouTube for fear of overing and finishing everything else in there.
Okay, then let's do this quickly. Is there any Netflix show that any of you want to recommend for people to watch?
So there's
Aside,
a show that
Obi doesn't need to
was
answer this
recommended
question.
to me. It's a German show. It
Okay.
has to do with time travel. I've forgotten the name though. Bright? I think it's called Bright or something.
No,
Bryce
Bryce
is
is
a
Will
different
Smith's
show.
movie.
Man. But it has this Stranger Things vibe to it. I'm gonna try and remember the show's name.
Okay. Obi, any recommendation?
Netflix. I'm rewatching Spartacus, so you know.
All right.
You,
All right.
you want to jump on board the blood and gore? Yeah, that's what I'm watching. And Abstract is really
Mike.
good. It's not a soap opera TV kind of show, but it's a good design documentary. And then there's Night. I think there's Night, which is another. It's like Planet Earth, but for nights. I think it's called Night or Nighttime. I can't remember what it's called. But yeah,
The show I was talking about is called Dark.
it's called Dark.
Okay.
Dark.
Okay.
Yeah. Everybody should watch it.
Michael, what's up?
I recently watched Picard, the Star Trek series, which was very cool. If you are any sort of Star Trek fan, especially of the Picard generation, you will enjoy it. So
it's on Netflix.
No idea.
Okay. So on Netflix for me, there are a bunch of stuff. Tiger King is a must-watch. Tiger King is crazy.
Yeah, what is that thing? A documentary, a series?
It's a documentary. It's a documentary. You need to see it, man. It's wild. Like, no pun intended, but it's wild. And, but what I would recommend, because it kind of seems safe to recommend now, is actually Korean shows and movies. They are really good. Now, let me be honest.
Coming off the now the whole world is clued into that fact. Coming off what has happened with Parasite, so yes,
exactly.
I actually do agree. Korean shows and Japanese shows. Well, I'm biased like that. I know they are good, and it's nice to see something like other shows from other countries. And Korean shows come ahead of Japanese shows. Yes, I'm biased, but you know what? The Koreans deserve it. They do make some really good stuff. So
they've spent a lot of money. The Korean entertainment industry is highly and heavily government funded. So like they know their stuff, and they've been doing this. They exported entertainment as a means to get people interested in Korea. So that's the entertainment industry boosted the economy. So it's not a joke. And I'm not a fan of rom-coms. Like, to be honest, I hate rom-coms. But some K-dramas are really good. I really enjoy them. There's romantic comedy stuff in there. But the main thing I've noticed about all my years of watching K-dramas is that there's always another plot. There's a far deeper plot than the love and laughing and chasing each other. And they're holding hands. That is so intense. Hey, they can hold hands so intensely, man.
Charlie, you need to watch Parasite and come back, Winston.
Okay, I will.
You need to watch it and come back.
Yeah, I'm gonna watch Parasite as well.
Yeah,
I think that another thing I should watch is James May, Our Man in Japan. It's on Amazon.
Oh,
Prime.
and you should watch Amazon Prime there. You should watch the Grand Tour. See,
I'll tell you if you
don't have
about Amazon Prime, James May, Our Man in Japan, Grand Tour, and this has nothing to do with all those shows. Jack Ryan. I can never not recommend Jack Ryan.
True.
No, but Jack Ryan season 2 was a bit off, eh? It's just me.
No. You see, I've been a Jack Ryan fan for years because I was reading the books from Tom Clancy.
Yeah.
And this thing hits a lot of the same beats, but updated to the modern world. So as I'm reading it, I'm being drawn in and hyped. Some things happen that are unexpected, but the thing is, in going with the context of the books and how things went, it still works out fine. It still makes thematic and chronological sense.
Right. Another thing I should recommend is Sherlock. Right, I did Sherlock again. It's fantastic. I've been on a Sherlock binge, so I've been going through the books. I'm doing an audiobook. I'm doing the second Sherlock audiobook. It's like a 47-hour collection of like Sherlock, read by Stephen Fry, who's fantastic. But you should watch this. Like the Cumberbatch is just
I just realized
and-
a
and
little,
the other guy.
I just realized of a nice challenge you can give to the viewers. So what you can do, watch the Sherlock series and then watch the Sherlock Holmes Robert Downey Jr. Movies as well, back to back, and then tell us which one is better.
Oh
Which Sherlock
no,
is
I
better?
did the exact same thing.
Can you?
No,
like,
no, no,
can-
no. I don't think it's fair.
You know, that's exactly what I'm asking. Like, it's like asking someone to choose between their two legs. Which one do you prefer?
No.
It's going to be hard.
because
For
because
good
the
reason.
series is so well done, and then I watched the movies back to back. After I watched the series, and I jumped into the audiobook. Oh man, it just made the little banter in Infinity War or which one was it that they were together?
Yeah.
It is
it was
so
the
much
Infinity War,
more, so much more cool.
Oh.
Like
On a
man.
tangent, guys, I think it's about time we all collectively decided on some African content on Netflix or anywhere and watch it
Oh,
together and then break it down.
I saw
Do you see Queen Sono?
I saw
No.
Chief Daddy.
Hi
I
God.
saw
I saw Chief
there's-
Daddy and I thought it was going to be great, and then it wasn't.
Yeah.
but I
Oh, my
saw
word.
what was this one? There was this one with Fowles, this Ramsey Noah, Jim
That's Chief
Hyde,
Daddy.
something men.
Oh no, not Chief Daddy, not Chief Daddy. No, that's
Something men.
Anyway,
Isn't
Merry
it
Men.
Merry Men.
We've got,
Yes.
we've got 1
Yes.
minute
Isn't
and
the African
we've got
movie
exactly 1
industry-
minute left.
1 minute more?
Okay.
Isn't the African movie industry interesting? You can mention a cast and they applies for lots of different movies.
All right, so I guess we have to sign off over here. I hope
Yeah,
you
let's
guys
sign off.
enjoyed yourselves. We'll talk about some more movies and we'll
Oh
try
shit,
and
no
keep
in-flight
this on the
snacks.
side.
Yeah.
Wow,
No, in fact,
Michael.
no, my friend.
All right, we'll catch you guys next time. Bye.
Bye. Peace.
Hey guys, so I realized in the video that we did not talk about Bloodshot, we didn't talk about Sonic, and we didn't talk about a bunch of other stuff because we wanted to keep it short. I know we have so much time and we could have made it a bit longer, but in making it longer, it could have gotten drearier and we could have gone on a lot more tangents. So if you think we should talk about those movies, jump in the comment section, let us know, tell us. But the question for this week, yes, each week we are going to have a pertinent question. We want engagement, we want you people to tell us what you think. The question for this week is simply this: do you think that all the movies on the slow burners now, all the movies that haven't been released yet, do you think they should be released onto streaming platforms, and why? In the why, you need to explain how financially, because yes, it's a business, you need to tell us how this is going to work financially for the people who have made these movies, and then you need to talk about its effects on the movie industry after the fact. So jump in the comment section. You could even make a video. If you make a video, you post it on our social media, especially Twitter. I'll put the handle in the description, and then just jump there, post a video telling us what you think. We'll put it in the next video. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I hope you guys support us. Like, come on, we can support each other. So catch you guys in the next one.